Love and light to you, everyone. Earthy Wise Woman here. I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. I wasn't able to be here yesterday due to my head cold, and I sounded like an old fisherman, so I didn't want to come online sounding like that. Today, I did a reading, and we got the Emperor, but it's in reverse. Now, the Emperor usually denotes a dominant male figure, a very powerful one. So if this had been, say, a court card like a king or a knight or a prince, I would say it was a family, like a father figure or a grandfather. But this, being the emperor, I'm going to tilt this down a little more, denotes more like a world figure, like a president or someone of a major authority, president, a king um, of a country, or a prime minister. And I don't know if you've been looking on the world stage, but there has been a lot of agitation in our world. So that will spill over into other areas if we're not careful. So if you've been noticing a lot on your job or in your workspace or in your environment, a lot of rebellion, a lot of antipathy. I like that word, fancy word. A lot of anger. And more importantly, all of this is stemming from a feeling of being unsure. And we're dealing with a lot of that. We're not sure what's going on. We're not sure where we stand financially, and we're not sure where we stand domestically. So, the best thing I can suggest to you right now, with all of these energies that is going around of chaos and unsurety, is to start calming within yourself, because a change can happen, but change has to happen with you individually. The best thing we can all do is not allow ourselves to fall into a victim mentality. And what a victim mentality generally means is we blame everything around us for the situation that we're in, when in fact we need to take responsibility for our situations. And what I mean by that is let's start taking more control over it. If we don't like the situation at our workspace, let us implement situations that can change the problem around us, because the definition of the word problem is a thing that has absolutely no way of being resolved. That is a problem, which is why many great philosophers says problems have solution. If they didn't have a solution, truly they would be a problem. But there are always solutions. And as I said, it starts with us. Let us start meditating more. Let us start being more thoughtful to our fellow man. And it's in simple ways. If you see somebody who needs help, uh, maybe, I don't know, putting their groceries in the car, help them. If you see someone carrying lots of loads of groceries or whatever, keep the door open for them at the grocery store. Um, if you see somebody who's homeless, don't assume that they're just alcoholics and drug heads needing a fix. Assume, listen, if you don't want to give them money, give them a sandwich. I mean, seriously, the more we help and empower our fellow man, the more we help and empower ourselves. Because the saying is true, we're only as strong as our weakest link. And right now, we're going through a lot of unsurety. So if we can be sure in our own immediate environment, that will spread throughout the universe. No joke, I'm not being Pollyanna, but this is the way the universe works when it comes to energy. Positive energy infused into the world brings forth more positivity. It elevates us in a world conscious manner. If we choose to stay in a low energy frequency where we are so self-absorbed that the only thing we think about is ourselves and protecting ourselves and taking care of ourselves, we're going to find that our world becomes very small and very singular, because it's only going to be you, and you. And you'll learn not to trust anybody. As it is, we already live in a world where if we decide to trust our fellow man, people around us think of us as being naive. You know, I just recently gave a dozen eggs to a friend of mine, and she was going to give me $7 for a dozen eggs. Well, I couldn't stay, and I told her, you know something? No problem. I'll get you on the backside. She was so used to living in a world where people don't trust. She was like, oh, no, I don't want you to think that I'm not going to pay you. Let me stop and give it to you now. And I had to tell her, no, I trust you. I know you'll give me the money. I have no doubts about that. If I decide to dwell on things like that, whether this person would give me my money or remember this, imagine how small my world would become. I know this is a naive thing, and I know many people won't believe this, but I'm going to put it out there. You can laugh at me or not, but I'm going to say it. Most people are genuinely good. Most people truly want to be kind to their fellow man. The problem is we allow the few who are destructive, the few who are truly out to annihilate and harm, seem like they're the majority, and they are not. They are the minority. I'm going to make a suggestion. I dare you. In fact, I implore you, take a chance on your fellow man. Trust somebody. It doesn't have to be something major or large. Trust somebody, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Because you know something? Believe me when I say this, it takes more work to be a thief than it does to be an honest man. And most people know that. Because spiritually, mankind is good. Now, I hope I can say that loud enough where everybody can hear it and adopt that and not feel like an idiot because they believe that. Mankind is good. And if we don't start remembering that, we are dooming ourselves, because only in goodness and in love will we grow energetically. Only in goodness and love will we grow spiritually. So even though right now the energy is animosity and distrust, and even the energy of war is around us in the universe, we don't have to be slaves to the energy. Remember, we are the masters. We can change this. But it's up to you, and it's up to me. So this is Earthy Wise Woman strongly suggesting to you guys to take a look in your environment and help out your fellow man. Doesn't have to be something big. It just has to be something. Blessed be.